Welcome to episode number 3 of Soya Says Podcast. I am all pumped up and excited about this episode because the topic of our discussion today is passion. More accurately, we try to answer the question: is follow your passion a good advice? Follow your passion being in double inverted commas there. So, how many times have you gotten this advice that you should simply follow your passion? How many times have you given this advice to someone? How many movies and Instagram posts can you recall that advocate follow your passion as the only way to achieve anything meaningful in life? As cliched as it may sound, this is one advice you see the experts, the movies, the social media, and the folks stuck with you in a traffic jam recommend. But to think of it, is it really a good advice? Is following your passion really a good advice? What if my passion is watching every Netflix and Amazon Prime original ever made, be it a TV series, be it a movie, whatever? Shall I pursue that passion? Here's the deal: who's going to pay for your Netflix and Amazon Prime subscriptions? I know this question can quickly turn anyone off, particularly the young that don't have bills to pay. Am I saying you shouldn't follow your passion and get a 9 to 6 job instead of building your empire? Not really. My question has more to do with who is funding your passion project. If someone's willing to pay you while you watch Netflix on your laptop, go for it. Many women out there, passionate about beauty and makeup, get paid for getting ready online through their beauty YouTube channels. So you might as well continue with your passion and hope to make money one day, be it watching Netflix all day long, right? Here's a little problem: hope is not a strategy. I repeat, hope is not a strategy. So, continuing your passion of watching movies all day on Netflix and hoping to make money out of it one day, that cannot be a strategy. Are you confused? Here's a model that should clean up the mess. This model proposes that passion alone is not enough. You need to consider three components: passion, proficiency, and profit. I first got to know about this model through a post by Michael Hyatt, and he has also defined them as below. Passion. This is where it begins. What do you care about? What moves you? What problems do you want to solve or issues you want to address? If your heart is not in your work, you have a job, but not a calling. Proficiency. Passion alone is not enough. You have to be good at what you do. Being good enough will not give you the satisfaction you desire. You have to excel at your craft and be awesome. Mastery is the goal here. Next is profit or profitability. To enjoy a successful career, people must be willing to pay for what you do. They need to pay you for what you do. You don't have to get rich, but there must be a market for your product or service. Otherwise, your career is not sustainable. Now, there are a few equations that you need to note from this Venn diagram or this model that we just talked about. Passion plus proficiency is equals to hobby. That means profit is not present here. You have passion about something, you are proficient in it, that is only a hobby because there's no profit present. Proficiency plus profit gives you boredom. Profit plus passion gives you failure. And passion plus proficiency plus profit is going to give you overall satisfaction. So here's an example: traveling, that is a good hobby to have. You can be passionate about traveling, you can be proficient at it, but not too many out there can make traveling a profitable hobby. Similarly, while watching Netflix is something that you can be passionate about and be totally proficient at, as long as there is no profit to be made out of it, it is just a hobby. Unless you can produce something with market viability or value and profit from your hobby, you might not be able to go too far with it. Practically speaking, it's better to be bored and do something that you are good at while making some bucks so that you can fund your passion projects. In other words, you will be able to pay your Netflix subscription. The reason I say bored is because remember the equation proficiency plus profit is equals to boredom. So it's okay to be bored if that is paying your bills. And once you're done paying your bills, you can then fund your passion projects. I myself am a big believer in pursuing my hobbies. I've had several such passion projects bite the dust because I realized they weren't sustainable in the long term. In fact, Qureshi.in is a passion project for me. It is self sustaining, but isn't really moving the needle too much when it comes to profit. But then pmclounge.com, my project management related website and YouTube channel, that is another project that checks all the three boxes of the model that we just talked about: passion, profit, and proficiency. I'm often told that my blog should be about a niche topic, that my Instagram and YouTube and even this podcast is all over the place and I should focus on a specific subject. But that is by design. It is intentional. I do not really care about profit from these avenues. It is a hobby that I can afford. If you blindly follow your passion, you might ignore proficiency and profitability, and that isn't a good place to be. Follow your passion, after all, isn't really a good advice unless you can bring in proficiency and profitability along.